Yo, what's going on, you good looking gamers, and welcome to today's video. And in today's video, we are going to recap Apex Legends Legacy, also known as Season 9. So, this season, in my opinion, is probably the best season Apex has ever had. And that's saying something, because before it was Season 3, and I genuinely thought Season 3 was unbeatable. But let's recap what we got in this season. Starting with the new legend, as always, every season we get a new legend. This season did not disappoint. We got Valkyrie, or Valk for short. Valk is probably one of the greatest additions we ever got to the game. For recap, for those who don't know, her passive is a jetpack, which allows you to hover in the air and reach hard to reach areas. Very similar to Pathfinder, Octane, and Horizon, but you can do it whenever you want. But you can run out of fuel, and you can regain it by just sitting around, really. The tactical shoots a bunch of missiles and stuns people if you hit them. Very effective for aggressive pushing. And her ultimate is Skyward Dive, where she can literally become a redeploy balloon and redeploy the entire team to the next area. I've already seen Valk used in ALGS, and she is very, very, very good. I really like using Valk myself. She's actually my third third favorite legend is what I'm trying to say. So Pathfinder first, then Octane, then next comes Valk. Really, really love Valk. Probably one of the best additions to the game. Very, very good stuff. Also, we got a new weapon this season. We got the Bocek Bow. This weapon came out broken as hell. You guys remember, let's go back to like the first day of the season, right? First day of the season, you're getting hit across the map by a silent weapon that dealt 70 damage to the body and essentially didn't have to reload. What the hell? Like, that's just screams OP. But don't worry, it did get nerfed. This is a very interesting weapon because it essentially reformatted the way we play Apex, because it added a new category for weapons called Marksman, which this weapon came under, as well as the G7, Triple Take, and 30-30. But it also used a completely different ammo type as well. It used arrows, and it still feels awkward using its own ammo type. Personally, I'd just stuck it in the care package and took out the Peacekeeper. But they did take the Peacekeeper out, but swapped it for the wrong marksman weapon. But it also introduced two new hop-ups into the game. Shatter Caps, which would turn the gun or bow into a shotgun, which was really effective up close. You could use this thing as a sniper and a shotgun if you found this. And you could also put the Dead Eyes tempo on it. And the Dead Eyes tempo increased fire rate if you fired at the correct time. It's really easy to master. It's really helpful if you can get it right, but it doesn't really do much. You can kind of live without it. But yeah, it was really interesting. They took out the Skull Piercer and the Hammer Point rounds for this. Do they replace these hop-ups? Sorry. Yes, I feel like these hop-ups were a lot more meaningful, because all the other two did was just increase damage to a certain part of the body. You know, like, oh, my Mozambique, oh, it's doing 100 damage to the health. Oh, my wingman's doing 100 damage to the head. But, like, I mean, if you wanted to do that, just add it to the main gun. Like, I don't want to just go around scrambling for one rare attachment that increases damage. Why can't I just get that built in? But luckily they did fix that, and I'm happy about it. I think that those two hop-ups kind of fit. I don't see them going anytime soon. Maybe the Dead Eyes Tempo might go. But Chattercaps, I feel like that's here to stay. Because 3030 kind of relies on it, you know? And another cool thing about these hop-ups is that you could put both of these hop-ups on the Bocek. Which is awesome. I mean, it's the first weapon, not gun. It's the first weapon in Apex history to do that. Allow two hop-ups on the same weapon. Really unique weapon. But how does it feel in my hands? Personally, I don't use the Bocek at all. But I know a lot of people still do use the Bocek. And it is a very powerful weapon in the right hands. But I don't see it used, like, just used a lot. It's not a weapon you're just going to run into. But I do want to give the devs browning points for trying something original. But anyway, let's move on to the biggest part of Season 9, and that being the introduction of Arenas. Arenas was game-changing. Not just for Apex, but for shooters in general. This game mode is just, in total, if I'm being real with you, this is coming from my personal opinion. Now, I know I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but I think it's better than the Battle Royale.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
As we were saying, the Arenas mode was very, very, very fun. I love it. They introduced 2 original maps from the start. Awesome. Both those maps, pog. They are really well designed maps. Really well designed maps. Phase Runner and Party Crasher, love them both. 10 out of 10. Now, they also introduced new Battle Royale POIs as arena maps. So they got one from each map that we had on the Battle Royale. So we got Artillery from Kings Canyon, Thermal Station from World's Edge, and Gardens from Olympus. Now, these maps, not gonna lie, weren't very good. Especially Thermal Station. I just, Thermal Station just, it weren't it, Chief. It weren't that guy, pal, you know. But Gardens was actually a decent map, you know. It was a good map. Definitely the best out of the bunch for the POIs, and it stacked quite well against the original maps as well. So that's all I've got to say about Arenas. I personally think Arenas is probably one of the biggest things. It is the biggest thing that's ever come to Apex, and probably the best thing that's ever come to Apex in my opinion. Now, I know Arenas Ranked is coming in Season 10. I will probably give that a go, considering how much I love the mode. But what am I doing? I haven't even explained the damn mode for all you guys who haven't been playing. Basically, Arenas is a 3v3 elimination game mode where the objective is to eliminate the other team to win a round. You win a bunch of rounds, you'll win. If you get 2-point lead, you'll win. Right? So what made it interesting is there was a buy system to start with. You could get any weapon you wanted from the get-go. Well, I say that, but so you couldn't really afford some. So, say for example, I wanted to blow all my money out on an R99 to start with. I could do that. I could start with an R99, but I'm sacrificing on, like, meds or stuff like that. So you could buy meds, abilities, and stuff like that. Some ultimate abilities have cooldowns between rounds. Hey, that rhymes. So you won't be able to use them all the time. Some tactical abilities have limited amounts of uses. So if you use all of your Bloodhound scans, that's it. No more scanning people for you. But so when you go in, you'll be able to, you'll go in, you'll hunt down the other players, as well as find med bins, which contain Phoenix Kit, medkit, and 2 shield bats. And you can also find material like canisters to get more materials and more money for next round. Killing people nets you money, and as I said before, the first team to win by 2-point margin and be above 3 points wins the game. Now arenas is still a ton of fun, and I keep stressing that out. It really is a ton of fun. I highly recommend you give arenas a try, even if you're not like super duper big brain strategist, man. At least give this game mode a try. You will probably enjoy it. And if you don't like the third parties of the RNG, you will find arenas your home for Apex. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is the map update to Olympus. So the map update to Olympus featured a brand new location in between Bonsai Plaza and the solar array. Cool. And it was a giant ship called the Icarus, and it kind of had a giant vine leaf coming off it. It was home to a weird parasitic plant. I am a lore nerd, but I can't be bothered to explain it to you guys. So basically this thing comes in, and it's a very big ship. There is a lot of loot here, so your whole team can land here. And the best part about this is that randomly one of the crewmates will drop a key card which you use to open the door, to open the bridge, and get really, really pog loot. So it was interesting. Like, I did like that they brought the key card and vault mechanic from World's Edge onto Olympus. Hats off to the respawn devs for pulling it off in such a great way. However, it could be cheated. So if you had a Loba on your team, just get your staff out. You got your key, card. Open the bridge. You're good. You got pog loot. Or you could just steal from the bridge, but you only get one use like normal. But yeah, I feel like it's a very impactful new area. Now, that's pretty much it, and I do feel like it was a bit disappointing for what we got, because we only got one new POI, and that's the lowest amount of map changes for a map update. And considering this is Olympus's first map update, not looking too good. But I totally get why they did this, because obviously they were pushing arenas out. They didn't want people to like be massively into Olympus if they've got they're trying to push a new game mode out. Totally get that. But overall, it was a very good location, and one of my favorite drop points on Olympus. And that's pretty much everything from the launch. So, very good launch. Or, I say very good launch. The servers were a bit iffy to start with. But once the servers got fixed, it was a ton of fun. But then we got the content drought. We kind of got the content drought during June. And then at the end of June, we got the Genesis Collection event. Which featured the Revenant Heirloom, which is still probably one of the best heirlooms they've ever introduced. And the return of Season 0 King's Canyon and Season 3 World's Edge. We've not seen these maps in a very long time. Season 0 King's Canyon hasn't been seen since March 2020. And Season 3 World's Edge hadn't been seen since February 2020. So, glad to see these maps back after such a long time. And they're probably the best iterations of those maps. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of stuff that's missing. Like, there's no town takeovers, there's no explosive holds on King's Canyon, there's a train on World's Edge, there's no wall things in World's Edge anymore. It's it was a huge breath of fresh air, especially having World's Edge and Olympus in the rotation again since season 7. It was good to have these maps back, and it gets better because Skulltown became an arena map for a limited time. How do I think it was? I honestly don't think it was a very good arena map. The reason why people like Skulltown is because of how chaotic it was. Arenas is very condensed. It's very controlled, very strategic. So you're not going to be killing 5 teams within 3 seconds. You ain't going to be doing that here. So I kind of feel like people got a bit disappointed, but yeah, it is what it is. Skulltown, it was an okay arena map. But that's it for the Genesis Collection event. Overall, I think it was a decent collection event. Don't know if it was the best, but it was decent. And then we got the Thrill Seekers event, which I missed the first 2 weeks of because I went on holiday. And the Thrill Seekers event introduced another new arena map, this time being Overflow, which, at the time of this recording, the video has literally just rendered of me playing my first game on it. So, link in description for that video. And, well, overall, I think Overflow is an okay map. I don't think it's the best. It's still a very good map, but it isn't the best. Especially if you're stuck at the bottom side. That ain't fog. That ain't fun. Like, at all. Like, not at all. But that's kind of where we're left at with everything. Now, I know I'm yet to actually retrieve the Seer teaser. But Season 10, at the time of this recording, is a week away. Exactly. And honestly, it looks really, really, really interesting. I cannot wait to try Season 10. But overall, where would I rank Apex Legends Legacy or Season 9 compared to the other seasons? Overall, I would say it was the best season of all time, in my opinion. Now, I know you guys are definitely going to disagree with me on that, but it is the best season of all time. I was hooked. If you get me playing a game for 6 weeks straight, then you know you've done something right. And that's exactly what Respawn did. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified. It helps me out a lot. And you get to know whenever I do anything stupid. Also, use my code ElementalGamer8 in the Fortnite item shop when buying anything from the item shop. Whether that be Booga or any of the other content creators. Don't use that. Actually, use their codes, not mine. Don't use my code for those. But if you're buying any of the other stuff that's in the shop, use code ElementalGamer8. And if you're buying the Chapter 2 Season 7 Battle Pass as well, use code ElementalGamer8. That's it from me, guys, and I hope to see you all very, very, very soon.